Welcome to Friends Like Us. I'm Marina Franklin, here with you. I'm with,
Evelyn Frick.
and we are aware that there may be some Wi-Fi issues, but we are here for you. So Evelyn, who you have not been here for 2 weeks.
I
Everyone was
know.
like, "Where's Evelyn? Where's Evelyn?" They love you, Evelyn. So
And that's so
tell
sweet.
everyone what you were telling me before about your amazing summer that's better than all
Mhm.
of us. And happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, my birthday was on the 23rd, so I'm happy to celebrate this as my little birthday moment on the live stream. Yeah, I turned 26, and it was nice. So I was celebrating my birthday and spending time with my girlfriend's family. The last 2 Saturdays, I was flying to and from Minnesota, where my girlfriend is from, and we were up at a lake house, which, like, my parents are from the Midwest, so they've had tons of like summer lake experiences, but I never have. So it felt like this, like, I don't know, this experience that my parents had always told me about, but I hadn't done yet. And it was
What, a
really,
lake house experience?
yeah, like just like going to, instead of like going to the ocean, like going to the lake. Um, so it was nice. We did a lot of kayaking, a lot of, I like read 3 books while I was there.
What?
I know, yeah. Well, it was like we were up north in Minnesota, so like there was like no Wi-Fi at all, which was like really nice to like fully unplug. So yeah, I like we just like spent all day reading outside. We had like a little fire pit for like s'mores in the evenings. So it was really nice and really relaxing. And then, yeah, I came back this past week and have been back at work. But then also because of my birthday, I saw the Broadway show Parade last night,
Oh,
which
I wonder.
it was really good. It's really heavy and really sad, but it's so well done. Really cool performance.
Do you think it'll make it? We've been talking about that with Juskow about how like sad Broadway shows don't really make it. Oh, Heck Tex is the one who's been asking about you, Evelyn. She
Oh,
was like, "Where's Evelyn?"
hey, Heck Tech. Yeah, I'm back. I was just on vacation, but I have no other traveling planned for the summer, so I will be here. And for the fall too, I'll be here. But so, well, Parade is actually, I think it was planned as a limited run, like from the beginning. So it's closing next weekend, I think, is like the
Oh,
last.
it's a limited run.
So yeah, so it was like planned to close anyway. But yeah, I mean, a lot of shows are not making it. I think
I
even like
know. New York, New York.
yeah, and that's even like a fun, happy one is like not do it's like I think closing tomorrow. I think.
Oh,
Yeah, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know. There are a lot of Broadway shows that are not making it, which is really hard because, people put so much hard work into it, like the actors, the production, set people, costuming. It's hard. I'm trying to think of like shows that like are actually doing well right now. I feel like Sweeney Todd is doing really well, but like I don't think that's planned to be on for very long.
Sweeney Todd. Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, it's hard, but I mean, does seem like, I mean, it was like last night. It was Friday night, kind of like a prime Broadway show evening, and like it was packed in the theater district when we're like going to the theater and leaving. So it seems like people want to see shows. It just is a matter of like what kind of stuff they want to see. I will say I was a little nervous because I know that like theater etiquette since COVID hasn't been great, but everyone at Parade, I think because it's such a serious show, was like very polite and like good. So that was nice.
It's incredible. Comedy has not slowed down in New York
Yeah.
City. I think in other locations it may have,
Yeah.
Look, they're look in caps.
Hello.
Look at that.
That's
Does
really
how
sweet.
does that feel? That must feel good.
It does feel good. It does feel good. It's nice to be missed.
Yeah.
But it was so fun to see like Sujay on the show the last few weeks.
Oh yeah, Sergey is great, and he knows how to deal with Juskow.
Yeah,
It was
that's
really
key.
very, very, very well done. Sergey is a nice guest, that did a great job. And Eric Prince, I keep telling you, when you want to come on, you just let me know. Just shoot me a text or an email because
That'd be fun.
I've known you forever, so you got to come on. We could promote your Twitch.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We got to plan it though.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That's an amazing summer that you're having.
I know. I feel, yeah, it's been
You feel
really.
bad? You feel bad that you're having a better summer while everyone's losing money and picketing?
And I know, oh my God. Well, I think the writer's strike, it seems, I know you talked about it on the podcast recently. But it's been nice to see that like all the writers and actors like still have their spirits up, even though it's been going on for so long. Um, I'm part of the News Guild of New York, even though I'm not a reporter, but I think now that I'm like back in New York for the summer, I think I might try to join a picket line in solidarity with the fellow unions.
So I did one. I was supposed to do another one this past Thursday, but I had as you can see, my eye. It's
Yeah.
better than it was. But I popped a blood vessel in my eye. I don't know how, or I've never done that in my life
Yeah.
ever. And my eye doctor was just like, it's just blood.
Yeah.
That
Stuff
was
with
his.
eyes is so scary.
I know it looks bad. I had to say it on stage. I had to address it,
Yeah.
and it takes time to heal. It's not a one and done.
Yeah.
My uncle was saying how Americans, they just like a quick fix. But
Yeah.
so my eye appointment went late, and then I was not able to get to that early morning picket with the comedy writers. That I think Phoebe Robinson was hosting that one, and
Oh, that's cool.
Mark Theobald and Pat Brown was there, and
Oh, that's
it
cool.
was early. It was like 9:30 and 11,
Yeah.
and they had to end it early too because of this heat.
I know, it's crazy. I can't imagine because it's been hot this summer, but it's like really, really hot in New York right now. But pickets are going strong. At least in New York, they haven't pulled what they did in LA with like trimming the trees for shade.
Oh
Did you see that?
no! What do
Yeah,
you mean?
so there was like a place where writers and actors had been picketing outside of a studio on like a sidewalk, and there have been all these trees that provided shade. And the studio had people come in and like trim all the branches so that it was no longer shady. It was fully exposed to the sun. And like there were trees like on the studio lot that had not been trimmed. So it was very clear that they had done this to make it harder for the picketers.
How do we go back?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like
I mean, when
how,
you know this is how they feel, that's
yeah.
cruel.
It's yeah, exactly. It's like inhumane. Like you're expecting like writers and actors to want to work with you after you like make it some like a situation unhealthy for them. It's really yeah, and the stuff that's like come out in the press of like the studios are like purposely not coming back to the bargaining table to like punish writers and actors. I that's a good question. I don't know how. I hold grudges. It would be hard for me to work with studio people.
I mean, we have to go back for money.
Hmm.
I know it's getting hard. It's getting hard for me. I'm gonna be honest because all these writers are taking up space and these
Yeah.
on the road and stuff, and it's like less work, because those are the
Yeah.
people who are in the writers rooms are also comedians who are
Yeah.
running shows, so they would normally be in writers rooms, and
Hmm.
then I would be getting their work, because
Yeah.
I'm still struggling, by the way, as an
Yeah.
artist. It doesn't end. it's a gig economy. So like gig to gig, right? So
Yeah.
like now, yeah. Like I've got to like spread myself out where I perform too now. I'm like
Yeah.
doing different clubs that I never did before. I did Gotham last weekend. I haven't done Gotham in a long time.
Oh,
So it
wow.
was nice to be there. Oh, hello, Ari.
Hello.
She says I think they were only fined $250.
That's right. Yeah, the studios were fine. Like, it's a slap on the wrist. Not even for them.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Look, Ari, they know you. They're saying hello. This is my lovely assistant for
Hi,
the
Ari.
Friends Like Us podcast. She's doing an excellent job, by the way.
That's great.
If you look on our Instagram, if you see all the posts and stuff, she doesn't skip a beat. I gotta be honest, like Evelyn, since she's the only one that like can hold up to where you were because she doesn't skip a beat. She's on it. She learns. She gets better. She's just
All the posts look so good. They look better than when I did them, to be honest.
well, she has that skill, but she
Yeah,
also like on top of that is like I never have to check her ever. It's like rarely. I don't
that's
know. She's
great.
just a very quick learner. Don't leave me. Oh, Venus Boys is saying I'm late. What did students do? It's I think Eric said lunch money. That's lunch money. Oh, we're talking about
Oh, yeah.
the strike in California and them trimming the trees and making people like sit in the sun. They prevented shade and they were only charged $250.
Yeah, it's just nothing for them.
And they're showing like actors are showing their residual checks. Like I
Yeah.
have one for like 2 cents. No kidding.
Yeah, that's
I don't
crazy.
even understand why. I don't get it.
Yeah. And the whole thing with like them wanting to be able to like scan a background actor's face and then like use it in perpetuity without paying them is so wild. It like people make a living off of just being a background actors, and that would fully erase the ability for people to do that and make a living.
Now I am going to say something that is highly well, it's not. It's just something that I've noticed
Yeah.
since I've been following the stock market.
Hmm.
Um, when you follow the stock market, it does take the emotion out of these negotiations
Yeah.
in a sense, because what's happening is you start to see like how the market trends
Yeah.
go and where they are losing money. So this industry of streaming,
Yeah.
no one really knows. And I would say that actors as well as Wall Street should demand that studios like Netflix full transparency on the numbers.
Hmm.
Now, Andrew Schultz, I believe, said on a podcast with the god, whatever, Charlemagne,
Yeah.
and was saying that actors are, in a sense, by asking for that, they're they're in a sense gonna bump themselves out because if Netflix shares the numbers and we see the numbers and we see that the numbers are low, why would they keep your show?
Hmm.
So if you force Netflix to show numbers, then and Wall Street says, ugh, and then they're not, and then their stock price goes down. There's no Netflix for anybody.
That's so interesting.
It's an interesting point, but I'm not sure if it works, and I'm putting that out there to all of you.
Yeah.
Um,
That's an interesting point. I feel like my immediate reaction to that is like, I feel like the burden shouldn't be on the actors. Like, if the numbers aren't doing well, like it's Netflix's responsibility to like market the show more or like
ooh,
do more stuff like that. Like all like the actor's job is just to act and just to do it. Like, but I see your point. Like, if
mhm.
the company's losing money, it's harder for everyone.
Disney is in huge trouble. I mean, they have that guy Bob Iger, whatever
Yeah.
his name is, Bob Iger, and it says for music stream, 100,000 views will get an I'm gonna put that up. Oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh, there we go. You see?
Yeah.
All right. We should probably have Juskow join us to so this we're kind of like freezing today, but we'll get it together. You can still hear us. Hello, Kawa 47 NLD. Welcome to the show. I've never seen you here. You're on Twitch. I see. The best place to watch this is on our YouTube channel. On Marina Franklin, that's me, YouTube channel where you could subscribe. It's available on Meta. It's available on Twitch. And Eric's like, my comments are freezing. Yes. So we're about to bring on the man. He looks like he's reading a comic book. I don't really understand what's happening here, but here we go. Ready for so we could clear up this Wi-Fi. David.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday, Evelyn.
Oh, see, she was shocked.
How did you know it was my birthday last week?
I don't know. I'm really good at birthday stuff.
I guess I might have mentioned it. That's funny.
Maybe. I don't know. Aren't we both Leos?
Oh, that's how. Yeah.
Maybe
I think
that's
I
what it
mentioned we're
was.
both Leos. Yeah.
What'd you do?
So I saw Parade last night.
Wait, what's it called?
Parade, the Broadway show.
Oh, Ben Platt. How is it?
It's very sad, but it's really, it's
My
really
sister
good.
said he's on stage during intermission.
Yeah,
just
he
sits
is.
there.
He sits there the entire time.
That's so weird. Just like the girl from Interstellar.
Yeah. It's like I've talked, like I was talking with my parents came to see the show and was with my girlfriend too, and we're just like, what is he thinking up there? Like, is he like in character? Like, what is he doing? But it was really good. It was such a cool experience to see because it's closing next week.
Oh, it is.
It has it was a limited run, so it was only planned to do that anyway. It's not like I think they could probably go a little bit longer if they wanted to, but yeah. So that's what I did for my birthday, and just seeing friends and also watching a lot of the Women's World Cup.
Oh, right. Isn't that what happened last night?
So the U.S. hasn't played for a few days.
Oh, I thought last night was their next day.
No, the next match for the U.S. it's at 3 a.m. on Tuesday
against Portugal.
Yes.
Okay, that's the next one.
Yeah. So I will be watching. Yeah, last night it was Jamaica played Panama, France played Brazil, and like one other. But yeah, it's been fun. I love women's soccer. I played soccer when I was a little kid.
Oh.
And so this like Women's World Cup has been like the most viewed Women's World Cup ever.
Really?
It's up, tennis, gymnastics, and women's soccer during the World Cup is the only women events that get ratings. It's certainly not NBA basketball, the WNBA, or anything like that. Women's soccer is very, very big. I don't know how it became. It's much bigger than the men's, at least here in the States. I don't understand why. I don't even know if there's an American league. And if
for
there
women,
is, yeah.
It's called the National Women's Soccer League, the NWSL.
Why isn't that ridiculously popular? I mean, I understand how soccer is only popular every 4 years here in America, but women's soccer is extremely popular. Why isn't their league more exciting and more prolific? Why isn't it out there more? It's very odd because people love it.
I think we're going to get close.
Taking too long, Evelyn. Like it's like
I know.
It always seems like it's getting there, but it never does.
Well, the thing that's like interesting this year, like at the World Cup, is that a lot of the matches there have been no blowout matches thus far, and it's because like even with the U.S. women's team playing, it's because people are getting better.
They're catching
because countries are seeing that there's money in women's soccer. So they're giving more money to the players to be able to like train better and have better equipment and stuff like that.
And that's why the women just tied last week and they were upset about that because they're used to dominating. And that's exactly what's happening. It is really just interesting that again, it's still just not more popular. You heard about that guy. I don't know his name. He just won the World Cup last year or something. He just made a big deal with Miami. Yeah.
Messi. Yeah.
He just made a big deal with Miami. Who cares? No one cares. Men's soccer is stupid. There's a limited amount of people that like it. Nobody watches it on television. Maybe you go to the game.
International, or you're saying
Internationally, they do.
internationally?
No.
You may have
Internationally.
some people
I'm
come
talking
at
about
you.
the MLS, Major League Soccer
Yeah.
here in America.
People in the US, don't watch it.
Did you know there are 2 New York teams?
I think I actually did know that, but I don't know what they're called.
But like most Marinas doesn't know.
I don't know about sports in general. That's why you see I'm just
That's
reading.
the thing. No one knows about this sport, and it's just so odd that people get kind of gaga over the women's soccer, and people want women's sports to be bigger, and that it's not bigger here. It's just
I thought we should mention what's her name while you're talking about sports, because I'm going to tap out with sports, but Sha'Carri Richardson, which we have a guest who's coming on tomorrow, Tracy Lauren. She's an old friend of mine, and she was talking about how they made so much of a big deal about her and the marijuana, and she's kicking ass.
Yeah, there was like I saw
Tracy Lauren
race, like
let her finish, please. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I watched her race a few days ago. I'm not sure. I don't keep track of like track and field or anything like that. But it came up like on my TikTok that she like won a race, and it was like right before the race, like she like took her wig off, and then like she had these like beautiful braids under it, and then just like destroyed everyone and was like super fast.
Yeah, she is frozen. That's hilarious, right? What a funny face to be.
Yeah,
Hello.
this is not. It's. I think it's Evelyn's Wi-Fi, because we didn't have problems with
How could it be
Sujay.
Evelyn's Wi-Fi if you keep freezing? Even when I was on before I came on, I noticed you freezing and not Evelyn.
Because mine, it's the way it's like, if one has more.
I am not going to stand here and let you destroy Evelyn's reputation.
Oh, please.
And her internet connection.
Please stop trying to. Please. Please. You're not going to do that. No, but that is what's happening. So anyway, we'll get there.
Evelyn, do you believe that?
No, you're the asshole. Don't even try it, Jessica. You talk a lot of shit when Evelyn's not here, and don't even try to act.
I know you talk shit.
Yes, she knows you talk shit, so don't try it.
Everyone knows.
But no, the reason I brought her up was because of, well, she's a Black woman. Also, I think they made such a big deal out of that, and then like now no one can say anything about her, that she's so fast. But anyway, I want to move on to the strike and what's happening. And you guys talk about Broadway a lot. I'm concerned about Broadway. I don't know. Has anyone seen Edelman's show on Broadway?
No,
I haven't seen it on. I saw it off Broadway, but I have not yet seen it on Broadway.
Okay.
I need to go. He gets mad at me for not going.
It looks like the
talk. I don't know. You know what? We'll just call this friends like me. Friends like Marina. Okay? That's where we are today. All right. I don't know. This is going to be a tough day. Let's see here. It's tough. Okay. There we go. Let's see. Hi.
Hi.
I don't know if we can keep talking, because it's just going to keep doing this. I haven't had any issues in a long time. So, I don't know. DJ Eric Prince, there are some Middle Eastern countries where women are also fighting. What's going on?
Yeah, Venus Boys. Broadway's a different union. They just made a deal last week.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Yeah, the IATSE, I think. I don't know what it stands for. But yeah, they made a deal. But I agree with like your point, Marina, that like I think, or just generally, I think Broadway is a concern because ticket prices are so crazy.
$250 a ticket, each ticket. That's insane. Who can afford that?
No,
yeah, but people go and pay. How much do they pay for Taylor Swift?
That's true.
Yes, but that's she's performing for 3.5 hours. It's an experience. You go to Broadway, you see it, you like it, and then you kind of forget about it. Most of the shows they're not like Taylor Swift. They're not great.
Also,
I told Marina, Evelyn, rather, I told Marina, I went to see The Life of Pi,
oh yeah.
the Broadway show. And it was very, very good. But I don't know if it's something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life, like a Taylor Swift concert. If I was a girl that loved Taylor Swift, that probably would have made my lifetime.
The beauty of this is I have the power to come back. So TB, thank you for saying that. I used to work for the phone company, and weather does affect the lines. So that could be what it is. It is like 92 degrees outside. So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna apologize this. We'll probably end early today because I can't keep doing this. All right, here we go.
Do you want me to try like logging in from my phone? See if that would.
Yeah,
Make
but
I don't
can't
think
imagine
it's
it's you.
that.
It's so clear. You want to try different
No,
line,
it's
Marina?
listen, I just know. I know
You wanna
because we
try a
didn't have
different
problems
link?
for 2 weeks. But
Right.
it's also the heat.
That's
And I'm
impossible.
on a hard connection.
Me
So
too. But Marina, do you want to try a different link? Sometimes that works.
no.
No? Okay.
No. If this keeps going, I'll just end it.
Okay.
Because I think it is the heat. I think that's a good point.
That
It's
doesn't make
92
any sense. I
degrees.
just don't buy
Why
that.
wouldn't the weather affect?
I just,
It
The
affects
weather
the
does
grid.
affect, yeah, it affects the grid. And
Have you worked for the phone company?
yes.
Oh,
I've
please.
worked
I
for
have never seen you climb a pole.
I wasn't one of those. I just worked in the customer service department.
well, because also everyone's using electricity right now for their air conditioning,
That's right.
so
That's
it can
true,
make
but
the grid go down in places, and that affects Wi-Fi.
I haven't had my air conditioning on all day
Ooh,
because it's nice today.
it's
It's not
92.
nice.
It's so much nicer than it's been the last 2 days.
No.
I think so. I don't know. Yesterday I walked home from oh my God, yesterday I had a date, and when at the end she just
Please,
goes,
Wi-Fi, go out. Please. Please.
The moment
I
is
went-
now.
and she just goes, "You don't need any money, right? I'm gonna leave." I'm like, "No, I guess I'm okay. $300." We just sat at the bar.
For the date?
I was very
Wait,
upset.
you paid $300?
You didn't split the check?
Nope, she didn't want to split the check. Which I was okay with. I just always like when they
Oh, that's
offer, but she
right.
didn't even offer.
That's
So
rude. If you know
Oh.
it's going to be a really expensive, you offer to split.
that's what I thought.
How
So
did you know? You know him, DJ Eric Prince.
no,
He is.
she's
You are
older.
robbing the cradle.
No, she was 34.
Oh yeah. For you, you're robbing the
Living the
cradle.
cradle.
You know, I usually hang out with that 19-year-old girl, so I thought this was better. Meanwhile, that 19-year-old girl she's so respectful. She's always like wanting to split it and stuff, and at least she asks. Yeah, for what, Ari? I tell you, like just like it was at that bar, that Blue Ribbon Braziers or something. What's it called? It's like Blue Ribbon Sushi. It's an offshoot, and they have clams and oysters and stuff like that. I know that stuff's expensive, but she picked the place.
Oh, I know the place, Blue Ribbon.
Yeah, and she's a waitress at the Comedy Cellar.
You know what? The Blue Ribbon is too crowded and small.
Oh my God, it was so loud I couldn't hear anything.
I don't
Yeah,
like
but-
that. I don't like
Well,
when
that makes
places
it
are
so
too loud.
uncomfortable especially for like a date. Like if you can't hear the person, it's like, what's the point?
Well, that's the worst part, right? Exactly. And she knew the bartender, so I thought we'd get a discount there, but nothing.
Ooh.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I got the bill. Let alone, like I said, when she just said, "So, you don't need any money from me, right?"
My assistant Ari wants to know 300 for what?
What? That's a good question.
Well, drinks and then like an appetizer and 2 meals. I know it was just overly priced. I saw the
you
menu when I
should
went in.
Venmo request her.
Yeah, well,
Be like,
I
actually, you do owe me money.
would never do something like that, but I just, it was, and then she's like, "Yeah, I'm tired. I'm gonna go." Like just, I hadn't even. I said, "Well, can you wait for me to get the check?" No.
Oh, she just wanted a meal.
Well, maybe, but then she goes, "So when can I see you again?" And I go, I got confused. I'm like, "Well, I don't know, next week." And like she's like next
when
Friday.
she's hungry again.
Probably. She goes, let's go to that restaurant you were talking about. Yeah, you're probably right.
Oh
I
my
guess.
God. That's
$30
so
tip
rude.
for the rub on
It
his
was
leg.
a $50 tip, and she did rub my leg, so
Yeah,
you're
that
right.
10%.
I'm sucking
Eric
it off for
Prince,
every
is that
tip.
what you leave?
I left $50.
Oh, that's so rude. That's
I went on a date that wasn't supposed to be a date. I've done that a lot lately.
yeah.
Where I'm just accidentally, I'm like, wait, this is a date,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Ari, exactly.
That's so funny.
But I don't say who it is, Juskow. But even when I, don't. But
I would never do that.
oh, thank you. But I will say this. It wasn't really a date, and then when the check came and we both realized it was a date, it was an awkward moment of, do I pay? Because we weren't initially saying it was a date. What do
Yeah.
you think? I'm
There
throwing
should
that.
be there should be no awkward moment. You offer to pay or you take out your card, and then the man says, please, I'll get it. The end.
I said, oh, well, then should I? And he goes, not this time.
Oh, see, I've never said that. I just say, don't worry about it. I'll get it. I never say this time, because actually that's rude to me, because I'm an old man and old fashioned, and this is the way I was taught. Now, I would hope the third time, maybe, we could split it or just even leave the tip. But the first time, absolutely, I would just expect you to say, you going for your card, and I'll be like, no, don't worry about it. You want to make the motion. That's all.
I think that's like honestly, I think that's acceptable. Most of the time, like when I'm out with friends, it's just like when the check comes, it's like, do you want to split it? Or like if I can be like, oh, we can pay with my card, but then like, can you Venmo me?
Well, you're out with friends. That's different. What do if you're like girls? I mean,
Yeah.
how does that handled?
It's
I-
I mean,
oh, yeah,
generally the
that's
same way.
Somebody,
much the
Oh.
same way.
somebody assumes the male role. Is that rude to
No,
say?
no, like the same way of like, I'm like, do you want to split it? Or like
You have
can
a
use my
conversation.
card.
Right. You
Yeah,
should
it's a
say, do you
conversation.
want to split it? Right. The word should come out.
Yeah.
I think, Juskow, you said it. You make the move, and mine is to go to the bathroom when the bill comes.
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah, that works too. But that's kind of a dick move. But it certainly does work. I've definitely, I've gone out. I went out with my friend Laura the other day, and we're not dating. And she went to the bathroom when the check came, and I made fun of her because then I just paid it. And I'm like, did you do that on purpose? She's like, no, I didn't do it on purpose. I don't think she did. But no, just making the move, making some sort of indication that even if you're just faking, I mean, I suppose from what I've heard, there are lots of guys that are just dicks and will not pay on a first date, and they split it. I can't even believe
I have had that happen to
women
me.
continue to go out with them. It drives me insane.
And his name is Keith Robinson. He shall be named.
But that's on you if you go out with Keith Robinson and don't realize that's going to happen. So that's on yourself.
What about this? The man pays, the woman tips.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That's interesting.
And again, I would never say that on a first date. I would, because I'm older and this is the way it is. But that's the perfect way to do a first date. The tip yesterday was $50. So if she had tipped that, I would have been thrilled.
Yeah. And I think that's also a good way of like, and sometimes it's hard when like you're paying a bill and like the tip, it's like, oh, this is extra money, but you also want to support the wait staff. Like the person, if someone separate
was
pays
her friend. The bartender was her friend, which is why I had to overtip.
Oh, well.
And that's when she sort of said, oh, let me take care of the tip because I know this guy for 10 years.
Yeah, I think
That's
that makes
true.
sense.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I agree. But then like if it's someone who doesn't know the wait staff, like I think that way you can leave an appropriate tip because everything's so expensive.
I think Q is exactly right. That's the women tip, or at least offering the tip is the perfect way to do it, even on a first date. I would be okay with that.
And Stace is saying we do this in friendships and / marriage. The person who doesn't pay tips. Y'all know I'm gay, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know how it works in marriage, but I just assume it's all the same, but I don't know. I mean, Evelyn, you're in a relationship for a year or two now. How does it work for you guys? Do you split it, or does one person pay and I'll get you the next time? Or
well, so it kind of like alternates. It's like, yeah, usually like one person will just pay. But my girlfriend and I use this handy dandy app called Splitwise, which is where we track all of our spending for the month. And we like, it has a function where like you settle up at the end of each month. So you put in like everything like that you spent and all like the bills you paid. And then it like will calculate like how much each person individually put in, and then shows like how much one person owes the other person.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is the problem I've always had. This is why I'm not married, have trouble, because I've always been afraid. Like I even lived with somebody for a while and I just felt bad having them pay half the rent. There's something about
What?
money that ruins
I'm the
a
same way.
relationship for me, because I want to. It's not like I just saw the Barbie movie and I get the message. It's not
Don't
like
tell us. Don't
I
tell
haven't
us.
seen it
I'm
yet.
just
Yeah,
saying
don't spoil it.
I don't want to be that guy, and I don't think somebody should have to take my name or anything like that. But there's something that's been instilled with me where I'm like, I don't want the woman to have to pay. I guess my mother's even like, get that out of your head. That's not a thing anymore.
No, I mean, I think that is right. Like you were socialized as a guy, and like with those social rules applied for like a really long part of your life. So like it's hard to get out of that. That makes
Yeah, and
sense.
my grandmother used to give me more money because I was a boy, and my sister would get less. We've been
What?
joking at that forever. Like
Oh
if
my
she got
God.
$25, I got 50, because like
What?
everybody knows boys have to take out girls. So there was no way it wasn't instilled in me for a long, long time. And I think I'm the last generation that feels that way, because the stories I hear about guys and girls dating, I get so angry, especially on the first date. I'm like, you're giving him another chance. And he's like, we'll split this. Let's go Dutch. Even they use that term. I'm like, what the hell's the matter with you?
I don't
Well,
think people my age say go Dutch anymore.
Yeah,
Somebody
they
told me
don't.
that, and that's somebody your age. That's why I brought it up.
Really?
Oh,
I couldn't
wow.
believe it
Interesting.
when I heard it.
That's
Well,
wild.
there is it. I mean, the reality is the economy is pretty bad. Inflation is high. People are struggling. There's a strike going
Yeah.
on. So, like you
It's
can
always
be,
that way.
but I think the bottom line is just be nice in
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
situation.
Well, that's what you
Like,
hope, but you meet a lot of duds, so I think I told you this, but one of my friends' daughters I had on my podcast once, during COVID. She was really interesting. She's very, very pretty, and she's having trouble finding a man. I think I've told you this already. And she said the best part about COVID during its big, when it was really going down,
mhm.
was that there was a period of time where, at least in New York City, you had to buy food if you were going to go to the bar. You
Yeah.
had to buy food. It was like a requirement. Otherwise, you couldn't just drink there.
Mm.
And she was like, it's been great because now my dates have to buy me dinner. And she thought that was terrific, because I guess a lot of the guys she's meeting skimp on it, or act weird, like the way we're saying.
Well, the thing is, the first date, and I do want to go to what Ari said. It's really good. And then there's another question about if the person initiates it. Venus put that a while back.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the person who initiated pay? Does it depend on who? Or she says, doesn't it depend on who initiates the meeting? And that is where I got into trouble with Keith Robinson
Really?
when I was a young comic, because I was like, oh, but I was like, here's a great place for us to go. I didn't initiate the meeting. I just said, here's a great place for us to go. And we went. And when the check came, he stared at me and I stared at him. And then he was like,
I took that.
and I've never experienced that in my life. I was like, I'm a young comic. And he was
Yeah.
like,
It's like if you go out with Dan Natterman, I mean, what are you thinking that's going to happen? I mean, it's not like he makes.
Dan pays, right? Oh,
You're hilarious. But
doesn't
seriously, what? Don't you know that legendary story I told you about that time he went out with my friend Jenny, and he's like asking her out. He's asking her, "Let me take you out. Let me take you out." She's like, "No, I don't want to go out with you." It's like, "Let me come on. I'll take you out. I'll take you out. I'll buy you dinner." She's like, "No." And then he's like, "Let me take you out for your birthday." She's like, "All right, fine. You can take me out for my birthday." And then the check came. He goes, "So, how are we going to handle this?" It's my favorite story.
No. Oh, he's so
I would be so mad.
And she's like, "Well, I thought you were taking me out for my birthday." Yes, of course. That's what we'll do then. Like,
But
I
with,
would
hey,
with
how are you
what,
gonna handle this? He's been begging to go out with her. It's so rude. There's also another scenario where,
well,
you know-
I just want to get this in.
Sorry.
What Ari says,
Sorry.
like if it's
I love
like
talking
a
about this.
movie. No, it's okay. Like like if it's like movie, one person does ticket, other pays
I
concessions,
love that plan. I
and
have no
nobody
problem with
bats an eye. I
Yep.
love that. Okay,
Yep.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, no, it's just that I really enjoy talking about this because it's fascinating. Um, here's another thing I was just talking about this week. This is what's the protocol here. Maybe you guys know. If you're at a birthday party for somebody, let's say Evelyn, are we also supposed to pay for Evelyn's girlfriend? I've been in two scenarios where like, oh, I thought everybody also pays for the girlfriend as well.
Like if you're going out to dinner or something.
Yeah, if you invite 19 people for a dinner
Yeah.
For
or
birthday
whatever,
dinner.
and are we also supposed to pay for Evelyn's girlfriend? Like, I
Oh,
mean,
I would
I've
say
seen
no.
that's
would
what
say
I say,
no.
but I've been in two situations where the girl has been like just sitting there and not contributing, and we're like, what the hell is this?
Oh no, yeah, absolutely not.
Okay, that's what I
Wow, the
thought.
Wi-Fi
But
is holding strong. I feel like I shouldn't have said it, but
yeah, you shouldn't have brought it
That's
up.
suspicious.
But yeah, that I like that movie idea. I'm very. And there's also another scenario being older. Obviously, sometimes I don't mind paying for people, but I feel like this was a form of date, especially since somebody says, you don't need money, right? Or I don't know,
Yeah.
what is that then? I don't know, what is that's just, I guess, scamming, but I've certainly been scammed before, as anybody who listens to my podcast knows. But then there's also the situation where like who has more money if you're
Yeah.
friends. So Sarah Silverman never lets me pay for anything, like now we're in this thing where she's like, you don't have to pay. But then I pick up once in a while coffees or breakfast, the little things,
I'll
that's the
just
way
show
to
you appreciate it.
exactly, because I feel bad sometimes, but I don't, but she's made it clear, don't feel bad. I'm rich, like, so don't worry
I
about
think
it.
that makes sense. I mean, especially now where everything is so expensive and
Yeah,
the
and if you
economy is
know the
bad.
other person's situation,
Yeah.
then it's, what are you gonna do? It's
Yeah.
cool.
Venus, you're bringing up some good points. First of all, this one, I'm assuming we all have friends that somehow manage not to pay or barely pay ever. I
Yeah,
don't know if you've
memo.
heard me talk about my girls' trip,
Yes. Oh my God. I remember that.
and I'm still not talking to them. That was the last.
Oh, the one in Florida?
Yes,
Yes, I remember
I
because
that.
think I had
there
only
was.
been working for
Wow.
you for like a few months at that point, and I heard that story and I was
It's a classic.
flabbergasted.
I asked you if it was just a
I
black
mean,
thing.
I'm still no. It was just like a trifling thing.
I just asked you because I wasn't sure.
No, it was just like, listen, if you can't afford to go on a trip, don't go. But here's the
Yeah.
thing, if I offer to pay for you, then you have to shut up on some level with
Yeah.
stuff, okay? And then also there was a girl that I just knew she didn't want to pay for stuff because she didn't have money.
Yeah.
So my sister heard us talking about the trip, and she was like, you guys are stressing me out. Like, I wouldn't want to go on that trip. And I knew, I was like, this is not a trip for us right now because we can't, not everyone in this group can afford it.
Yeah,
And
that's a
then they
problem.
started to invite people who weren't even a part of the original group who
Oh.
I don't even know their
Yeah.
situation. And
Oh,
I
that's
can't
awful.
expect anything from them. So it became like, we don't talk anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds best. I mean, really, I didn't know who these girls were anyway. It was kind of weird that you went out with them because I'd never heard
Well,
about
they
them
were my best
before.
friends in high school, and I have
Yeah.
an amazing time. And I still had an amazing time with them when we did have fun, but it
Yeah.
became like
Well,
I was the tour guide. I planned the eating,
Yeah.
because everyone
and
assumes
somebody should be in charge of that. But I think it's once you reach at least 40, everybody should know. People should know I can't go. I don't have the money to go with you guys. And
yes.
that's so there shouldn't after
Yeah.
40, because you can make a case for somebody trying to, I don't want to miss out when you're 20s, early 30s, and people don't have as much money, and that happens. But
Yeah.
once you reach a certain age, it should be like, I can't do it, guys. I'm
Yeah, you just
sorry.
say you can't
And
do
even
it.
if somebody said, I'll pay for you, it's just then I don't know.
Something interesting that it's a kind of a similar situation to that I've seen happen a lot, just like through like people posting on TikTok about it, is that like brides and bridesmaids like friend groups being like absolutely destroyed by like the bride expecting
Oh my God.
bridesmaids to pay like hugely expensive things for like the bachelorette party and the
Yes.
dress and like stuff like that. And for me it's being like a young person with like not a lot of money. Like it's so crazy to me that like that people would have these expectations of their friends to spend like thousands of dollars
Yeah.
on them for these like trips. And I get that it's like a bonding experience, but oh my, like I would never ask my friends to pay that much money
Yeah, my
for
friend
something.
Trish, the one I asked to marry me before she died, she used to tell me all the time they were killing her. She was very popular for being a bridesmaid or even
Yeah.
a maid of honor. And I mean, at the age of your late 20s, early 30s, all you're doing is going to weddings, right? You know,
Yeah.
so it was killing her. Like she was just getting destroyed. She must have gone to 7 of them, you know, within a 2 or 3 year period of time that, like you say, cost thousands of dollars or at least $1,000.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, they're expected. It's so rude to do like a what do you call it? Like the getaway ones, like where you're traveling
Oh yeah.
to,
The
oh my God,
destination
Yeah.
wedding.
destination
Yeah, and like
bachelorette parties.
brides and like grooms like expect people to like pay like airline tickets are so expensive, like to go to their wedding, but then also for like trips before the wedding. It's too much.
Yeah, right. So you have the wedding, and then like guys do it too.
Yeah.
You know, oh look, we're going to Vegas for the bachelor party. Forget that, right? Because then
Mhm.
that's a ton of money, and then the wedding is somewhere else. I'm like, geez, I mean, unless you're all, you know, you're all wealthy, I guess
Yeah.
that's different. But it's usually just normal folk who
Right.
get caught in these situations.
Yeah.
Do you guys hear about I just want to mention this because we missed it, but Taylor Swift fans caused an earthquake
What?
I think I had seen that.
How is
Yeah.
that possible?
because they were all dancing.
What? What?
It's
Where on the
possible.
San Andreas Fault?
They
Well, no,
caused
there's like a thing that's like similar to it that I've heard about where like University of Wisconsin Madison, like at football games, they have this thing where like a moment where everyone in the stadium jumps. I don't know why, but like it's caused like it's been marked on the Richter scale when they do that. So it doesn't surprise me if like at a Taylor Swift concert, like everyone's jumping around and dancing.
If that's the case, you're scaring the hell out of me of living in Manhattan. There's too many heavy objects here that I don't understand how it stays afloat anyway.
Speaking of objects, switching gears again, the alien thing.
Yeah.
There's apparently aliens amongst us.
Seattle Stadium.
I heard that the guy that testified before Congress is like not, I haven't looked into it too much, but I've heard he's not super reputable. So I don't know how much to believe of him. But I'm
he's
also
not.
I've heard he's kind of crazy.
He looked like it. I like it when he was talking. I was like, you look like one of these dudes. We're gonna find out later. Like you got like 5 women somewhere over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Because he cute.
Yeah, but like I mean, the thing is like there's also so many other crazy things happening in the world right now that it's like hard for me to focus on like information about UFOs because I already kind of like it. The universe is so big, it does not surprise me that there could be other like intelligent life
Of course.
out there, or that like our government who has all this high tech equipment could have like know that. But like the Earth is so hot, like Trump is maybe or like has been indicted again. Like I just like it's overload. Like I haven't actually looked into the UFO stuff because there's so much else going on.
The Trump thing with the tapes and him asking them to delete and the guy going, he goes, the boss, that is a situation where it's like you're putting that they've said intent.
Yeah.
We are now showing intent. And what's
for sure.
amazing is that his fans, his audience, the people who want him back in the White House, they refuse to hear this stuff. Like they don't think it's important. It's about democracy. I thought we were talking about democracy.
Right.
He doesn't care about democracy. That's what he's showing us. When is the Republican Party going to stand up against a man who is leading their party who does not care about democracy?
It's so scary. Like we've like that's like
Or
America's
anyone else,
whole thing,
including his own party.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like America's whole thing. Like I think it used to be at some point that like most people in America could agree that like democracy is good, and that's not the case anymore. They'd rather have like a charismatic like figure, a fascist leader, and it's scary.
I was just talking to Sarah Silverman yesterday, and she gave me a mouthful on all this kind of stuff. You
I
know,
bet she did.
yeah, just how like she told me, which I didn't know, that either Iran or Iraq in the 70s was an awesome place to be, and it was like free
Oh,
spirited.
Iran before the
Is that right? I didn't know about that.
it was a very well, yeah, because the like person that they like so yeah, it was a very free society. It wasn't as religious as
Right,
it
right.
is
Then she said the
now
religion took over,
because
and
the
she's afraid that's what's
Shah,
happening here.
who was installed by the US government, was a little like wasn't super religious, but then the person who became oppositional to him, the Ayatollah, was extremely religious, and that's how it is now.
And this can happen here.
I guess so.
Yeah.
That's what she was telling me. I had I never heard that in my life.
Me either.
That's terrifying
I never heard that.
because it's trying to happen here.
Yeah,
Well, it's happened in different places too. You can see places where it's just that's why we always say democracy is very fragile.
yeah.
It is. And that's what we have to keep reminding people. And I think like Juskow, your reaction being that you're a white man that, you know, has voted Republican, you know, that may be looking at your own party right now and going, what the hell? This is something that I think is a good point to keep drilling in is like, look how precious democracy really is.
Yeah.
I told Al Franken, I said, look, if you run for Senate against that horrible Kathleen Gillibrand or whatever, I'll change parties and help your campaign.
Well, I mean, does he live in New York now?
I think he does. That's the woman that ruined
That's
him.
Al
for us.
Franken. Al Franken. Remember, I told you I passed him in the park, and he was like, "I don't remember you." And
Yeah.
like he's always comes up to me. He's like, "Oh my god, I think you're so funny." He saw me at Sarah's show, and he was like, "Oh my god, that joke was so funny." Then I see him walking in Central Park, and very much like Dan Natterman, was like, "All right, I gotta go now."
Well, he's definitely a little autistic, probably.
I was like,
But I
"What?"
think he'd make certainly a good senator. He's very smart.
Well, I mean, he did.
Yeah, right. I just want him to do it again, and against that woman that ruined him would make.
Yeah,
me
that's
really
not
happy.
gonna work though. It's too.
Yeah.
How about the woman who was charged with falsely reporting Carly Russell?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard
We
about
talked about it. Speaking of the podcast, Friends Like Us, we talked about that with Vanessa Fraction and Kenise Mobley. It was a funny episode because Kenise was like, "I ain't rescuing no white baby at midnight in Alabama. I don't care what you say." And I just thought that was so funny because it's like, oh, you thought it was a white baby trap? Like it was a baby there, and then they were going to hit you over the head, which is possible.
Yeah.
But this story is so sad in so many ways because when Black women go missing, the news doesn't report it the way they do when a white woman goes missing. And I also would argue it's not even just about race, it's about income, like
yeah.
their poverty level, or, you know, it's.
But did they say why she did it? Does anybody know?
I think
that's what I'd like
it
to know.
seems to me like some sort of mental health
Break.
problem. I haven't I've paid a little bit of attention. I know the very basics of the story, but I haven't tuned in because it seems like a mental health problem. It just seems really, really sad. But I totally agree with you, Marina, that like Black and brown women go missing all the time, and like now like people are really like they don't get attention or airtime, and like but because the story has been sensationalized, and now people like pay attention to it.
It's like Jussie Smollett time.
Yeah.
Take 2.
Yes,
yeah, you're
exactly.
right. Because why was everybody loved that Gabby, whatever her name is, story, right? Because she was a pretty blonde white girl.
Oh, Gabby Petito.
People were obsessed.
Yeah. Right.
Well, we all knew her boyfriend killed her.
Well, it's also about like, you know, looks, income level, all of that. If it was poor white person missing, that they too, their story would not be in the news. I mean, it just is really sad when someone goes missing and then so now this case is being pressed on. Like I think she gets a year, but they want more. Like
Of
they're
course.
taking it upon themselves to be like,
Well,
that's
yeah,
not enough.
she could have caused a lot of damage for people that actually needed help. It's she
Yeah, but
did
you
But like
can't
she
go
didn't
outside the
though.
law. You can't go outside what the law is. The law is the law. That's
wait,
what they're
what wait,
trying to do.
wait, what am I missing
You
something?
can't prosecute someone for something that might have happened. Like
But didn't
large
she but she lied and used police resources to find all this information
And
out
she's
that
being
she was.
prosecuted for that.
which
But
like
they
Marina's saying it's like the maximum or whatever for that is like a year, but they're trying to do more.
A year seems okay.
Yeah,
They'll
but
pretty much
my
try.
point is they want more. They're going in. It's kind
Yeah.
of like the situation where you have a black mother who is in jail for I don't know how many years for trying to get her kid into a school for education. And
Yeah.
yet those rich white celebrities who were doing basically the same thing were let off.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like I forget how they were let off, but they was it a
You mean
plea
like
deal?
Felicity Huffman and
Yes,
like
yes.
the Lori
Yeah.
Loughlin? Yeah, they got like 90 days in
Yeah.
prison or
It's
something.
like when
Well, that's
justice,
all
when
right.
people get mad about justice, and it becomes a racial issue when you see we're all angry about this woman, black and white. But
Yeah.
then there's certain levels where you go, okay, now you're being white about
But
this.
is it
Yeah.
necessary for somebody who's trying to get their kids into school and doing that for more than 90 days? I mean, is that necessary, or am I just being completely blind?
I think it's necessary. I mean, especially now with affirmative action being struck down, like the actions like that are just going to lead to like institutions of higher education or like any schools just being whiter and whiter. So
Yes. I was reading what you guys are going in on the chat.
yeah, I think too. Well, like my thing with like the Carly Russell, also, it's like what like I understand that the law is the law, and like she should receive like she did like illegal things, so whatever, like justice should be served, but like also like what good, like part of justice is also rehabilitation, and like what kind of good does it do to give this woman who's clearly going through some sort of illness, like what does it do to give her more than a year, or like to like punish her like extremely, like that isn't gonna like change the fact of like what happened. It's not going to make her like healthier or better or society better. It doesn't like it's more extreme than it needs to be.
I think it. I think the whole sad part of this was, like we saw how it wasn't brought to light, and then all these celebrities brought it to light,
Yeah.
and then it was a fake story.
Yeah.
It was like, so it just makes for every woman of color who goes missing, their story not being heard that much more difficult. And yes, she does need to be punished for that, I believe, because but I feel like you said, like rehabilitation, mental illness. I just got finished watching a show on Apple about the kid who had the split personality for Crowded Room.
Oh yeah.
And he has a split personality, and how they understood and they had empathy for him after he randomly shoots into a crowded place, but they go, oh, look at him, he's insane.
Yeah, exactly.
So where is that empathy for this situation where she is legitimately something is wrong?
Absolutely. And also, yeah, to Venus Boy's point, like America is driven by money. Like it is cheaper to like get people like counseling than to put them in jail. It costs money to incarcerate people. And like why like I know it's like not a great reason, but let that be a motivator. Like it's cheaper to help people.
So do we have any reviews this week?
I got two. They're kind of short, but they're
Ooh.
nice.
What are you drinking?
Right.
Right?
I'm drinking Schweppes.
Oh,
I love seltzer.
I just heard Slice was coming back. That's why I thought maybe she had a can of that. Right.
Here we go. Friends Like Us review. If you're not you didn't know why we do if you didn't know why we do this to promote the podcast Friends Like Us. this week is a very good one with Kenise Mobley and Vanessa Fraction. We talk about the strange white baby on the road, and would you rescue a baby in the middle of the night as a Black woman, or anybody? Would you do it? Would you do it? We talk about it, so listen to it. All right.
It's a good question. Yeah, so both of these reviews come from Twitter, but if you listen to Friends Like Us, which you should leave a review on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars, so other people can find the show. But like I said, these come from Twitter. The first is our friend Sully at Sully Baseball, who said, Friends Like Us is an amazing podcast hosted by Marina Franklin. I never miss this show, which is really great. # check us out. And then this review also comes from Twitter. It was actually in response to the episode a few weeks ago with Shalita Grant and TK Dutas from at Mr. Mark Butler, who said, this episode is dope. I wish you guys nothing but success. Really nice. Yeah,
people, literary lady said people donated to her cause to find her. Where does that money go? Does it go back?
Ooh, I mean, that could be like a fraud case, like a civil fraud case to try to get the money back. That's so hard too, because like the money like they were donating, I'm assuming was like because the family was like, help us, because they were not part of it. They had no idea that this was happening. They just knew that their daughter was missing.
Such a mess. It's just such a crazy. But there's a lot of people in the world.
Yeah.
You know what? I wanted to ask, and people be crazy in all colors. I was wondering, Evelyn, since the Twitter thing and Threads, and with the one you're on, which is
Blue Sky.
Have you been on Threads?
I've been on Threads. It's hard because now it's like you have all like so many of these apps which are kind of the same thing.
Yes.
And it's hard to keep up with. I've actually mostly just still been on Twitter. I refuse to call it X. I'm not responsible for brand recognition for Elon Musk, so I'm still going to call it Twitter. But it's hard. Like, so Blue Sky, I think I like a little bit better because they're like, you can actually like, I think search like other like people's accounts or like search people's like their pages, and also they're different feeds. So it's like,
oh, we made it for such a long time. We were doing so well. We were doing so well at last.
I wonder if it's because we started talking about Elon Musk.
It does feel quite suspicious.
It is suspicious.
Well, that's interesting.
But yeah, so I like, when I have used it, I like Blue Sky better. I think Threads, like you can't, like you're just in one feed. That's people you don't even follow.
Cute.
So when it gets better, I guess I'll use it more, but I don't love it.
Yeah, it's weird. The thing about Threads that's great though is that you don't have to sort of read up on new friends.
Yeah.
And you can't delete Threads, because if you delete Threads, guess what? You delete your Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes. We're connected now.
Very smart.
Very savvy.
Smart. But the problem is retention. Like people aren't staying on it. Yeah. So they are not like the first week, like they got millions, like so many, it was like a Twitter killer that, because so many people were on within like 1 week, Yeah. But the problem is like now that we're all on it, what do? We just there?
Well, it's like they launched it before they were like fully ready. I think because they were trying to be like, okay, because everyone was like, Twitter's done, we need something new. But then they weren't fully ready. So like when they first launched it, like there wasn't a search feature. You didn't have different channels or whatever. So I think as it gets better, maybe people will like, retention will kind of even out. But we'll see. I mean, it's been interesting, like from like working for my day job, like our brand like got on Threads, and now we actually have like more followers on Threads than we do Twitter. So like we're using that more, but we'll see. It's just so exhausting having to have so many different social media now.
is. It's
Yeah.
too much.
And she's saying that, somebody young. Think about how it is for us or me.
I
Sorry,
can't
Marina.
imagine.
But it's like
No,
when I
it's
heard about
true.
Threads, I'm like, I gotta wait. I gotta wait and see if that pans out because I can barely handle the two, let alone still having a Facebook account being older. It's just really frustrating. What's up, everybody?
I did that just because I wanted to see. I knew he would do that, and I knew I could take his ass right on out. I knew you would get all crazy, be like, "What's up, everybody? Yeah, whatever."
It's so funny.
Oh my god! I do want to share this video that I did. You guys talk while I pull it up of me and a comedian friend, Rick Younger. We did the low budget breakfast morning show on his live, and it was so
Low budget
much.
breakfast boy show. Is that what
I
you-
always say it wrong. I'm the worst. Low budget morning show. He's been doing it for a long time, and he was on the podcast. He has a great voice. He was on the picket line. He made it so much fun because he's very talented. He could sing. He's like,
Oh, I saw that video. It was so fun.
yeah, it was so much fun, and we have over 5,000 views in like one day. And like people were like, "Oh my god, I love this!" And I was like telling Rick, I was like, "We're like Sonny and Cher." But he had been doing it for years, but no one was really, wasn't really. I was like, no one's watching this. I said,
Yeah.
so why don't you have a guest once a month? You don't have to have it every week, but just maybe once a month, have someone on. So he had me on. Anyway, you guys talk while I pull it up. It was a lot of fun.
He has a morning show.
Yeah,
On
it's
YouTube?
him making breakfast in his kitchen.
Oh, that
that's
I thought he had like a
nice.
morning talk show. That sounds nice, though.
That is, he
I
calls
would
it
like
his
to do
low.
a morning show on YouTube all the time. I would
calls
talk
it
for
his-
3 hours.
Oh, we
People like
know.
stuff like that. Like there was for a while, the actress Florence Pugh used to like go on Instagram Live and just like make dinner for herself, and like people like love that. So I could
She's
definitely see. people
really
do-
sexy. You see the poster of her on 59th Street?
No, I don't. Like for her Oppenheimer.
No, no. If it was for an outfit or perfume. or something.
Okay.
So this is us.
Oh. Wait, what were you doing there in the morning? Hey,
I'm not putting the volume on yet, but hey, you watch your mouth. I took a lift up there because I was like, he does this every week. He has one on today with his daughter, and it's so much fun. And I was like, how come you don't have, like it's annoying to book every week. So just have someone on once a month.
all right, I'll do it.
You should do it, Juskow.
Well, I'd love to do it.
He knows Mario Cantone. I go, you
Ugh.
have Mario. What?
I don't like Mario Cantone. Well, look, Modi's saying, yeah, Modi likes it.
Oh, Modi loves everyone. It was like people. It was a feel good moment.
The lighting in that kitchen
What
is
was he
really
making?
nice.
This is the kind of stuff I need to know. What'd you guys make?
I was trying to show him how to make vegan items for breakfast.
Ugh, this is the worst show
That's
ever.
great sound effect, Juskow.
Thank you. I want to see how to make eggs and bacon, all the good stuff,
He makes eggs. He was making eggs, but here's the funny part. If you'll notice here, PETA. Oh, here it is.
Listen to what your folks say.
Can you hear it?
That's a decision to make. Check out this bread. I don't really want to lose you, but I don't want the folks to turn me over to the hands of the law. Boom, 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 boom. I guess they think that I'm not good enough for you. I can tell the way they act in your attitude. As the tears roll from my eyes, I feel the hurt inside. As I reach out to you, say I'm so confused. Oh, I'm trapped. Like a fool, I'm in the cage. I can't get out. See, I'm trapped. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't get out.
He remixed it.
Oh, nice. That's great.
That's so fun.
That was gonna be my wife. That was my intention. If we cannot make babies, maybe we can make some time. But the pity you and me, Radic City come alive. We can pop until the dawn, making love to cherries come. Radic City, can't you see?
So yeah.
Wow. That was
It's
good.
so
I thought he was going to go
fun.
do a little double ham bone.
Well, we the live is also still there. We did that for like about an
Got a good
hour.
singing voice.
He's got a great singing voice, and he does. I don't know how he knows all the like. I suck at knowing lyrics.
Right.
He knows all the
too.
lyrics, and then he can remix it and beatbox it. It's a real talent. So I was watching one day, and I was like, "There's only like 22 people viewing this. This is crazy. This is great stuff." So I said, "Let me just bump it up for you." So 5,000 views on that. It was nice.
You look really pretty in it.
You sound shocked.
Well, you just look extra nice. Like, were you wearing makeup or something? I mean, you look really good. I was like,
Marina always looks good.
I know, but you just look. I don't know. You thought you really look. It's tough to look good on a morning show with just kitchen lighting.
It was a ring light, I think, that was on.
Well,
That helps.
yeah.
That's
It
how
gives
she would normally looks, but it was
Thank
good
you.
lighting in the kitchen.
But he isn't the only one who said that. Alana, who I work out with, she was like, "Your makeup was really good." I was like,
yeah, there's
"I
something
did
different.
nothing." It's just,
I know.
yeah,
Heck, right?
she's like, "Take the surprise out your voice." But it was
Jesus, Marina, you looked really good. That is not the way it was intended.
but it was like, and I did have on some makeup, nothing different than I normally have.
Well, you knew you were going to be doing this, and you knew you were going to be on TV. You must
I
be-
did. I was looking natural.
Sure.
So,
yes.
but someone said mute Juskow. But no, it was the ring light. Lighting is everything. Look, I have a light on right now. It
Yeah.
makes a difference. Look,
Yeah.
watch. I'll turn it off so you guys. Hopefully, this doesn't ruin
Wouldn't
our
that be
live.
funny? It's that light that's been the problem.
See,
Yeah.
sadness.
My ring light doesn't work well.
Hello,
You get nothing
Warm,
from it.
yeah.
Evelyn always looks perfect.
sadness and
She has perfect
funerals.
skin.
The lighting is so bad
Lovely
in my
life.
room, but
Yeah, but you always look like your skin is just flawless. It's not
thank
fair.
you. Well, I am so young.
You too.
It will not be this way forever.
I don't know. I
Keep
feel like it's
moisturizing.
Yeah, I will. My dad was visiting today, and I was like, "Wait, you need to tell me what moisturizer you use because he's been.
No, your dad look good. I told you
He
that before.
looks young.
Wow.
So
Fine.
hopefully I get.
And he's
those
like
to
my
you.
age, right? Or
He's 64,
Oh,
and he
and
looks
he
like
still
he
looks
could
great.
be like 50. I think.
Wow.
No, I remember. I kept it. I stored that. Yeah, no, he's a good looking man. So anyway, we do have to get out unless I said we got like we're trapped in the kitchen. What are you talking about? We're trapped in the kitchen. Is there anything else that I missed this week that we didn't talk about? Make sure you listen to this week's podcast coming up. I have Chuck Nice.
That
I've
guy.
got all of these really like just friendly black men.
Yeah, he's
Just
all
like
right.
Chuck Nice, Rick Younger. These are like the before Cosby was like kind of ruined to say it, but these are like the Cosby black men. But Chuck Nice is on with Noye Brown West. It's a really, really great episode. So check
You
it
love
out.
Noye Brown West.
You love Noye?
I do.
Oh.
Yeah, I think she's kind of sexy.
Her husband was white. They're divorced now.
Yeah, that's what she
Or they're
told me.
going through the process.
That's why I took her number.
Did you you watch it? You stay away from her. She's too young for you.
Is she?
Yes.
I thought she was a good
No,
age.
it doesn't matter.
Mm-mm.
You were missed, Evelyn.
Oh, thank you, TB. Happy to be back. I will be back indefinitely.
So we gotta get out of town. Make sure you listen to the Friends Like Us podcast now. Okay. Ooh, 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 ooh. All right. So Evelyn, tell our listeners and viewers where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at my website, evelynfrick.com. Also on Twitter at Evelyn G. Frick. Some exciting news that I didn't share was this week I became a contributor for The Onion. So I can share. Yeah, so I can. I'll be sharing things. policy with The Onion is I can't share like specific things I wrote, but I can share I contribute for the like slideshow jokes, so I can share slideshows that
That's great.
I may or may not have contributed for. So yeah, watch out for that.
Woo! Wait, let's get you an applause. Yeah!
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you. That's been fun.
I may have to have you take me out, and I'll pay the tip.
Yeah.
See, Ari, it's possible when you work with Marina Franklin.
It's true.
Don't go nowhere, Ari. We love you.
The Onion
right.
is still a thing, Venus Boys. Anyway.
Juskow?
Oh, well, I got a show at the Comedy Cellar on August 14th, 9:35, I think. And that's it.
That's good. It's right around the corner.
Oh, and
believe it
then
or not.
that place in Rutherford next weekend with Hatem.
Okay, great. What is the place called? Is there a
I haven't
name
done
for
it
the
in
venue?
3 weeks, so I forgot already. The show is called The Next Big Thing. It's called the Wilson Center in Rutherford.
I love the story where you say Hatem kept asking the young comedian, how the audience was, and Juskow would keep answering. Oh, I don't know why you're asking her. They were great. They were lovely. And he was like, Juskow, I am asking her. I don't care. You don't need to. Why are you bothering with her? It's a wonderful time. We're all having so much fun.
He just can't stand when I'm having a good time. He doesn't like when the comedy carries over past the stage performance. He's like, can't you be serious for 5 seconds? I'm like, I'm a comedian.
If you've learned nothing else from this show, Evelyn, adults have never been adults. Juskow is a great example of that.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So thank you all for listening. Just follow me, Marina Franklin, marinayfranklin.com, and then go to the podcast. Most important, listen to the podcast. It's on all platforms. You can see it scrolling beneath here. It's in the comments where to follow, how to get on it. Linktr.ee/Marina Y. Franklin has all the links for you to listen to it. Bye, everybody. Wash your hands. You can still wear a mask. By the way, the COVID numbers went up this week, so be careful. Be careful. And Black Lives Matter. Okay? Yeah. Be careful rescuing white babies in the middle of the street at 12 o'clock. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.